Hey guys, Scott Dion Brown here. So about a month ago, I did my unboxing video of the BlackBerry KEYone Black Edition. And in that video, I gave some of my initial first impressions after using the device for a couple days. I thought it would make a lot of sense to do a follow-up video for you guys. Now that I've been using the device regularly for a month, I'm more familiar with it, and I've got more to say. So I guess the biggest question on your mind is, do I still like the device? Am I happy that I purchased it? And the answer is 100% yes. I really love this phone. It's my favorite phone I've had in quite a long time. And the more I get used to it, the more comfortable I am with it, the more I like it. So let's get right into it. These are my top 5 favorite things about the BlackBerry KEYone Black Edition. Number 5, the keyboard. So this is a pretty obvious one, and you're not going to be disappointed with this keyboard. The clickiness is beautiful. It feels very BlackBerry. I'd say it took me about 2 weeks to really get used to typing on a physical keyboard again. I know that people, most of you now watching this, you're probably typing on glass. I've typed entire movie scripts, I've typed essays, I've typed really long, strongly worded emails on a BlackBerry keyboard. That's what I want to be able to do, and doing that on glass is just a nightmare. So right now I'm in Toronto, and I just saw an article in the news the other day. They're talking about introducing a law that people would be given a ticket if they are using their phones while crossing the street. I don't know what that means for the times we're living in when that's a problem. But it's generally not a good idea to be walking around not looking at what you're doing. That's how you end up getting hit by a car, or at least elbowed by somebody who is upset at you. With this keyboard, you don't have to do that anymore. You have tactile keys. When you're typing on your laptop or your computer, you're not looking at the keyboard, right? You're looking at the screen. You can do that with a physical keyboard. So, like I said, it took about 2 weeks to get used to doing that again, and I would still be in the habit of staring at my thumbs. But now, I'm able to just type the way I want, and I'm looking at the message that I'm typing. Or if I'm walking, I can walk around and type, and I'm able to look around, see where I'm going. I used to be able to do that all the time on the Q10, and I'm really happy to be doing this again. Also, just staying with the keyboard, the fact that it's a trackpad is awesome, although I actually don't find I use that feature a whole lot. There are some times when I do, but for the most part, scrolling on the actual screen is not a huge inconvenience, that's not a big problem. But it is a nice feature to have. The other thing that I really love is obviously the shortcuts. So you can program a different shortcut to every single key on the keyboard, and there are 2 options in each key. You can program a shortcut for a short press and a long press. So you've got 2 shortcuts for every key on the keyboard. That's a lot of shortcuts. The keyboard's amazing. That's my number 5. Number 4, double tapping the square button. This one's a weirdly specific one, but I still think it's worth pointing out. This is my list, and it is just something that I've really noticed that I like doing. It used to be on Android, if you wanted to see all your open apps, you had to hold down the center button. I don't in general like holding down to do something because that's just wasted seconds. But now they've added the square button. You hit the square button, and that gives you all of your open apps. Twitter and YouTube are open. So now let's say I'm in Twitter, and I want to quickly switch to the other app. What I love now is if you double tap the square button, it immediately jumps to the app you had previous. You type it again, it jumps back to Twitter. So you're quickly leaping in and out of apps. Again, it's a very small thing, but I'm including it in this list because I find I use it a lot, and it was a feature that I really hated losing. And actually, this double tap feature is actually faster now than jumping in and out of apps was on BlackBerry 10. So again, it's a very specific feature, but I find it's very useful. And the thing that I think, especially coming from BlackBerry 10, that someone who was on iOS or on Android doesn't understand, is the thing that made BlackBerry 10 so awesome were those slightly more efficient design elements that saved you those seconds. And being able to jump in and out of apps quickly was one of them, that I think if you were on Android or iOS, it's something you didn't really realize you were missing. But in this case, they've given some level of that functionality back, and I quite like it. So double tapping the square button is number 4. Number 3, the productivity tab. So one of the things I was dreading most about leaving BlackBerry 10 was losing my hub. So for people who are on BlackBerry 10, you love your hub, you're jumping in and out of it all the time, it's always there, it's always ready for you. In Android, you have your hub, it's just a separate app. But the thing about that is it's not always running in the background the way it is on BlackBerry 10, which means you are always having to go over and open it. That was one thing that was sad, and the thing that made me the most annoyed was when I'm doing something like watching a video, right? And the thing that you were able to do with your hub is you could peek in and see what the notification is without leaving the app you're in and then decide whether you want to go and do something with that thing. That's something that you can't do with the Hub app. But the thing that they've done on BlackBerry versions of Android is giving you what's called the Productivity tab, what I like to call the fake hub or the FUB. It's this little tab right here. You can see that. By default, it comes on this side of the phone about halfway up the screen, but you can customize where you want to place it. BlackBerry 10 users will understand why I put it low on the left. It's so that I can, with my thumb swipe into it. So what's great about it is it works all the time. It's always on. So we have a YouTube video playing. I swipe, the video is still playing, and here I am looking at notifications. So what do you get in the FUB? Well, it's synced to the BlackBerry Hub app. So when you swipe in, you have your unread emails. It's not all of your emails, but it is the unread ones, which means it's good for, you get a notification, you want to quickly look at it, maybe delete it, and then swipe back, and you've never left the video that was playing. You have your unread emails, you have your calendar, you have any tasks you programmed in for today, and you have your phone calls. Then if you want to click on one of the new emails you've seen, you can either delete it right from the FUB, or you can just tap here, and it'll open it in your Hub app, and then you can read the whole thing. So it's not a replacement for the Hub, but it's pretty good, and it's a really good transition, especially if you're coming from BlackBerry 10 into Android and you're missing that type of functionality. The Productivity tab is a nice thing to have, and I use it a lot. So, Productivity tab, the FUB. Number 2, the fingerprint scanner. I did not expect the fingerprint scanner to make this list when I first got the phone. I knew it was a feature even before I got the phone and before I ordered it. It wasn't a priority for me. It wasn't something that I thought I would like that much. I know iOS had it before, and other Android phones I believe had it as well. But again, it wasn't anything that I was ever interested in. But now that I have it, I absolutely love it. Why? Because it's so fast to unlock your phone. I mean, there's no faster way. You just put your finger on, and I find, if my phone is sitting down next to me and I want to unlock it, just in the act of picking it up and putting my thumb there, by the time it's reached my eyes, the phone is now unlocked. Again, if you're a BlackBerry person, you know how important security is. Having a way to unlock your device with other people not being able to see how you're doing it, that's a good thing. On Android, the main way to unlock your phone before that was that pattern. You had 9 dots, and then you draw your pattern. I don't know how many times I accidentally saw somebody unlock their phone, like I'd be on the subway, and I'd just be looking around, I happen to look down just as somebody's unlocking their phone, and I'm like, oh, I know how to unlock that guy's phone now. I'm not going to do anything with that guy's information, but if I'm on the subway and there are people there looking for that kind of thing, ideally you don't want them to know how. The thing that I loved about this is people can watch me unlock my phone 100 times. The only thing that they'll know is that they need my thumb. So maybe they'll remove my thumb, I don't know. But other than that, there's no way you can get into the phone. The fingerprint scanner is so convenient, but it's great for not only just unlocking your phone, but also the password keeper. If you're coming from BlackBerry 10, you've probably used the password keeper on your device. And of course, it was always a little bit tedious to, when you want to jump into your password keeper, you always have to enter the password. And it's even more tedious if you have to jump in and out a few times if you're grabbing multiple pieces of information, you're entering that password every time. We tolerate that because it makes it very secure, but on the KEYone, you have the same BlackBerry password keeper that you love, but you unlock it with a fingerprint. There's no typing, and you're in. Wonderful feature, fingerprint scanner, awesome. Number 1, battery life. It's fairly obvious why battery life is the most important thing. I mean, for most people, I think it's fairly a normal thing now. By, I don't know, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, you're out at the restaurant or wherever you are, and you're looking for an outlet somewhere in the wall. You're asking if somebody has a phone charger on them. You need to go use one of those free phone charger stations that some places provide. Oh, your phone's at 30%, you're about to go out, you better bring a charger with you. I haven't, in the month that I've used this phone, I have not brought my charger with me once. By habit, the first couple days I bring it, and then I would just never need it. Not a single day has gone by in the last month where this phone has died during the day. The battery on this thing is awesome. There were a couple days I got home, granted they were light use days, but it was just weird to get home at like 7 o'clock and see 85% battery left. Now me, I'm a fairly heavy user on this phone. I watch a lot of YouTube, I watch a lot of videos. When I go to the gym, I go on the treadmill, I've got a YouTube video playing. I'm on Instagram, I'm tweeting often, When I'm doing all that stuff, it's nice to know that I don't have to worry that this phone is not gonna make it through the day. On a heavy use day, I'll usually get home and find by like 9, 10 o'clock, I'm at like 15% battery. It's very rare that it's below that. And it's funny because at 15%, you get a notification, battery low. But that 15% is still a lot of time. If you watch a lot of videos, play a lot of games, you'll easily be able to get a full day of use out of this phone. If you're a more moderate user, maybe a little bit of videos, but mostly texts and emails and that sort of thing, you're easy to get a day, maybe a day and a half, sometimes 2 days, it depends. You'll never have to worry about the battery. You're gonna find yourself sitting in a restaurant where other people are looking around for their charger, and you'll just be able to I don't know, smile. It's great not to have to bring a charger with me. It's great not to have a second power bank in my pocket all the time. Not having to worry about battery life and making that a thing of the past, that makes it the #1 thing that I love most about this phone. Bonus feature, the ring thing. I wanted to include this feature as a bonus one because it's not specific to BlackBerry phones or it's not specific to any phone, but it is this ring that I have attached to the back of the phone. So I was first introduced to this by Crackberry Kevin, actually. I mentioned in my last video that I went to a meetup in Toronto that he was hosting, where I first got my hands on a BlackBerry KEYone. At the time it was a silver edition. It hadn't been released yet, so he had demo versions that he was able to show everybody. And on the back of the phone, he had one of these rings. And I asked, what is that? And he has a video over on the Crackberry YouTube channel that you should go check out, where he gives his whole demo, the same demo he gave us. But I'll just talk a little bit about it because I think this is one of the coolest things to have on the back of your phone, and I use it all the time. So it's basically all it is. It's a ring that rotates in all directions and bends up and down, and it sticks onto the back of your phone. In my case, I just have it stuck onto my case. You could stick it onto the back of your phone if you want, but I wanted a little bit more protection, so I have this sort of rubberized case with the rubberized corners on it, and the ring thing sticks to it nicely. The best thing I love for it is that I don't drop my phone anymore, because when I'm walking around, I've just got a ring through it. It makes it a lot easier to hold, so you can just be walking around, and again, there's a ring around your finger, it's not gonna go anywhere. It's great. But one of the features that I use it for a lot is as a kickstand. In the morning when I'm getting ready, I usually like to have a YouTube video on, whether it's I'm sitting at the table eating breakfast, or if I'm in the bathroom brushing my teeth. I just kick out the back of this, and I sit it, and it sits at a perfect angle where I can be sitting down, watching the device. You'll never have to, if you want to show somebody something, you'll never have to look for something to lean your phone on. The other thing that it's great for is lying in bed, typing on your phone. If you're laying on your back and you're looking up at the device, the only way you can really type on it is you kind of have to grip it between your two hands here, and then you're kind of typing with your thumbs kind of tightly this way. And it's never quite that comfortable because you're holding basically the bottom edge of the phone, and so this part feels kind of heavy, and it's not that comfortable. And I don't know if you're like me, but I've dropped my phone on my face I don't know how many times over the years, but just sitting there typing something and I lose it and bam, it's hitting me in the nose, you know. It's an annoying thing to happen. However, with the ring, the phone defies gravity. You have your finger in here, now your phone is up here, and your thumbs are free. You just type away, and you're never gonna drop your phone on your face. Don't smash your face. Don't smash your face. Bonus features of this little thing is that the phone spins around. It probably annoys other people, but I guess it's kind of a fidget spinner built in one. You know, you just sit here and spin your phone. I do find if I'm just sitting around waiting for something, I'll just find myself sitting and going like this just because. It's probably annoying to other people, but it's delightfully amusing for me. So yeah, the sticky ring on the back of your phone, it's the hottest new accessory, and I really recommend it. I don't know how I got by without it. It really is just an amazing thing. It's a great accessory to the KEYone. You don't have to go with the ring, it's optional, but I gotta say, if you do get it, you will use it all the time, because I do. So there you have it, guys, my top 5 favorite things about the BlackBerry KEYone Black Edition. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hit that like button if you liked what you saw, and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and hit that little bell button. That way you'll get notifications every time I post instead of periodic notifications, whatever that means. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you next time. You will subscribe.